Hello dan selamat datang guys ke channel Lone Wolf, and hari ni kita akan sambung balik game GreedFall. Okay, ni episod kedua and kecil. So far apa yang kita dah buat sama ni. Okay, so far kita dah sembang dengan ambassador sebelum kita pergi gerak ke tempat lain. Tetapi kita nak gerak ke tempat lain tu tak aman lagi, sebabnya kita akan dapat side quest. Okay, ambassador silap tekan. Kita dapat ambassador punya quest, iaitu kita ada 3 calling guard and the charlatan heretic hunt. So find way to move the cargo. So kita stop sekejap, kita akan pergi ke charlatan. Kita akan cari siapa di charlatan ni sebenarnya, and heretic hunt, find the smuggler. So main quest kita adalah untuk terus present kita kepada Captain Vasco. So kita akan buat dia lagi. So let's go. Yep, still tak faham macam mana nak baca map dia guys. Map dia tak simple ABC yang aku cakap. Pasal jalan ke? Yes, pasal lorong guys. Aduh, banyak sangat lorong. Macam mana diorang boleh banyak sangat lorong macam ni kat rumah tu tak ada banyak lorong macam ni pun. Okay, tak lupa. Fine. Nice features game. So silap tekan lagi. Hei mak. Oh lupa. Kita dah ada partner. Aku lupa betul kita ada partner.
Citizens, I present to you Panacea, the absolute cure of everything. Toothache, stomach ailment, and even an open wound. This potion heals all of that. And more still, this little phial is the product of years of research and intensive labor. I hear you asking if this remedy can heal one from the Malay. Alas, not yet. But your question is legitimate. I am so close to finding the cure. But the Malay isn't the only ailment causing you to suffer. Not true? Then don't miss out on this chance and give yourself a healthy and energized life. Rejoice! A phial only costs a few coins, and well worth it to make your life shiny and new again.
Does it really heal everything, your potion?
Everything. Absolutely everything. Except the Malay, of course. That being said, it is known that those in top health resist the Malay best of all. Then don't throw away this chance. Think of all the pains that this potion could help you avoid.
You are right. It's a deal. I'm gonna take 2.
There's a man that knows a good deal when he sees one. Hurry now. There won't be enough for everyone.
There he is. He's our man, no doubt.
His speech is well polished. I even feel like buying some.
And if we had a word with him? I wonder if he'll serve us the same routine.
Okay, anyway, selepas apa yang tadi berlaku tu, aku rasa itu teknik teknik macam kau nak jual kan. Best kan kalau ada ayat-ayat macam tu. Jual botol ubat tikus pun kau boleh power lah siap. Sekejap. So kita kena cakap dengan dia ke? Becik.
You're finally tempted.
In all honesty, I haven't made up my mind yet. I want to be certain that I'm not dealing with a charlatan.
In this day and age, I can't blame you. What might I do to convince you?
Oh, okay. As for demonstration.
Will you drink one of your potions to prove your good faith?
Of course. I take a little sip every morning. But as I'm in perfect health, you won't be able to verify the improvement in my condition. But if it helps you make up your mind, give me just a moment. There now. As you see, I am still in excellent condition.
Come on now. I saw you take that vial out of your pocket. Nothing proves that it's the same potion that you sell to your clients.
As a man of science, I consider skepticism a remarkable quality. But in your case, it is not skepticism, but blindness.
We need to steal one of these potions and force him to drink it.
Brilliant idea, Kurt. Let's take a look at his cart.
Aku nak buat kad dia pula. Guys. Macam mana aku nak buat kad dia, guys? Okay, kita daripada noble jadi penjenayah je. Bagus. Idea yang bagus. Tak ada kat mana? Oh, okay. Card dia actually dah lompat dah man. Lompat tak ni? Action. Kan? Dah, sudah. Jangan dekat. Okay, betul. Aku nak kena pusing the whole alley. Aha. Search area. Unmask the charlatan. Ini ke? Aku rasa yang ni. Letter from the innkeeper to the servant. The weird alchemist of the Alliance who rented a room upstairs specifically asked us not to clean it during his stay. This old fool must have wanted us to accidentally break his vows or something, so leave him in his filth. The customer is always right. Heh, heh. He said it's about me. Yeah. Come on, go.
And death to the others!
Sekejap. Mati kau. Keluar kau dari tempat ni. Oh, kira aku boleh guna kuasa. Dia lagi mana? Oi.
Things are about to get dicey.
Nice. Lama je kau lagi ya. Take everything. Tapi aku nak ambil. Nak load. So. Ooh, one tricon. All the embroidered double. Ke double? Bunyi lain lah. Mana tadi? Oh, tak ada lagi. Sekejap. Soft opus. Apa? Alright. Jom. Banyak. Charlatans antidote. Alchemical research book. These pages are covered in small, almost illegible handwriting, experiment results, patient observations, and incomprehensible symbols. By the complexity of some recipes, okay, leaves no room for doubt. The author was a true alchemist and was certainly very knowledgeable. So kira legit lah dia punya buatan tu. Tak ada lah tipu. Legit lah. So kira aku dah dapat lah Unmaster Charlatan. Kan? Kira aku dah dapat lah. Tak tembang ni balik. Legit. Aku dah jumpa kau punya.
Have you finally made up your mind?
Okay. Show him the remedy he is selling. Okay.
I happen to have a vial of your medicine. Would you be willing to drink it in front of us? To prove that there is no risk?
This bullying is trying my patience. I'm beginning to suspect that you might be working for a rival.
You refuse to taste it?
You might have put something in it to cause me harm or further disgrace.
No, look. The vial is still sealed. It comes straight from your stock.
And you dare challenge me when you have just admitted to being a thief.
Come now. You can see for yourself that I am gladly returning your vial, so that you might drink it in front of witnesses. This might help to dissipate my doubts, as well as those of these brave folk.
Yes, no, you don't have the right.
Damnation. He got away. He can't have gone far.
Find him, before his head ends up on a spike.
Think back to the note that we found. We need to take a look at the tavern. He won't leave the city without his belongings.
Right, so yeah. Jom cari dia. Macam nampak sangat kencing. Hoi. Mana? Jom. Yes. Duit. Semua kat sini adalah duit aku. Seven.
Good day, Tavern Keeper.
Good day to you. What is your pleasure?
Ask about Charlatan. Okay, lah kita tanya semua benda.
How is business going these days?
It's picking up. We've not seen many new customers, but of late things are looking better. The Malay and the neighbouring wars have dampened commerce. The epidemic still rages, but the possibility of finding a cure on that island has given people something to hope for. Now that we have a city there, quite a few seafarers come by to spend their wages.
So kira lagi untung lah
Has the Malachor really put a damper on your business?
More than a damper. They were soaked. When the sickness began to spread, a wave of panic followed in its wake. People stopped going out of their homes. They were afraid. I was close to closing shop, I tell you. And then, thankfully, the alchemists of the bridge said that you couldn't just catch it like that. People are still distrustful, as is their nature, but they are leaving home again. It's a start. I also lost quite a few regular customers. Dead or too scared to venture back. Yeah, but that's nothing new to you. The city would have sunk in the water if not for trade with the new isle.
Are you Freddy?
With all these sailors coming and going, you must have heard some stories about Tir Freddy.
Right. Even stories that my heaviest drinkers would have trouble believing. They say that man trees live there. Dragons and gigantic creatures. Treasure abounds under every rock. And the source of eternal life is hidden somewhere there. Last night, some Nauts even told me they brought back one of those giant beasts into the port. Ah, but you know the kind. If you ask my opinion, the drink was fueling their imaginations.
Sial. Dah lama mabuk. Gila pula. Elok.
I need to be off. Farewell.
Goodbye.
Okay, aku ingat kita sepatutnya sembang dengan Tavern Keeper. Like as, you know, hormat. Tapi tak. Aku salah. Dia kat atas ke kat bawah? Weh. Korang tidur kat mana, boy? Katil korang mana katil? Ini ke? Aha. Aha. Oh, dapur. Okay, sorry. Silap tempat. Jom. Tekan cepat. Mana dia? Ini ke? Buka. Aha. Kantoi. Batang. Alah, dia menangis ke bang? Apa? Menangis ke kantoi?
You again? What are you doing in my room?
I'm not the only one that's found you. Have you seen the mob that's gathering in the street?
I'm neither deaf nor blind. By the spheres. Why didn't I leave the city while there was still time?
The Alliance ambassador is quite unsettled by your commerce. And he's the one who sent me.
Sahin. Him again. Ruining my career wasn't enough for him. He's the very reason I had to leave the Alliance. And here I am, playing the part of the potion maker. Me, who was once a respected member of the Academy of Al-Sad.
Tapi kenapa? Itulah. Ask why his career is professor.
Dr. Sahin warned me that you were an imposter.
That doesn't surprise me coming from him. I was a master alchemist. I understand if you don't believe me after all that, but I have a number of documents to prove it. I would still be one if Sahin hadn't set off a chain of machinations to disgrace me.
Really? Dah salah korang pula. Aku Ask about Sahin.
Why does Sahin bear you such hatred?
I was unfortunate enough to oppose certain great minds of the Academy, to criticize their methodology. I saw them inflicting torture on sick prisoners, making them drink the most vile poisons. To find a remedy to the Malachor, they won't hesitate to kill. I could not keep my silence.
It is for an act of courage that you fell from grace and earned Sahin's hatred.
Oh. Tapi asal dia lari kalau masa kita suruh minum potion tu? Ha. Ha.
Are you not ashamed to have poisoned those poor souls?
These potions are not harmful. That is to say that they don't contain any harmful ingredients.
But you could just as easily produce real healing potions. So why don't you?
You don't understand. I fled, but I haven't put a stop to my own research. This potion is an attempt to create in those who drink it a resistance to the Malachor.
So you manipulate people to use as experimental fodder? That is completely unethical.
I don't have a choice, but it does not harm them, I assure you.
If this potion were inoffensive, then why wouldn't you drink it when I offered it to you?
I ran tests on myself for such a long time that I ended up becoming intolerant to it. A small sip of this mixture provokes in me now a violent reaction. I mean, the mob would have been furious in any case, but a normal dose, I assure you, is without risk.
Your methods don't seem so different than those of your colleagues.
I don't torture people. And this potion only has side effects in high doses.
Perhaps, but you are hurting innocents. I cannot let your commerce continue.
So, what are you going to do with me, my lady?
Oh, so disuruh kita choice. Kalau ikut kata aku pula. Apa pukul dia? Kan? Dia dah salah. So dia dah tuduh kat orang lain dia buat salah. So dia lagi teruk. Dia gunakan orang lain untuk eksperimen dia. Lepas tu suruh orang lain tu bayar untuk dia buat eksperimen kat orang kita.
I'm sorry, but I don't trust you. I'm going to deliver you to Dr. Sahin.
My lady, I beg you to spare me.
I've heard enough. You are under arrest.
How unjust.
Macam mana boleh dia kata unjust? Ha? Kau tahu tak banyak salah kau buat? Ha? Dia dah ceritakan semua benda yang dia buat salah, kau tahu. Go directly back to Lions Embassy. Yes, kita terus pergi ke Dr. Sahin. Hey, Sahin.
Your Excellency.
Lady de Sade.
Alright, so about the charlatan.
I tracked down your man near the Coin Guard barracks.
Finally. Did you capture him?
Let's just say that I put an end to his activities. His reputation in Serene is forever tarnished. Matters turned out a little more complicated than anticipated.
Deliver the documents. Yes, reputation aku naik dengan British Alliance.
He is hiding in a room in the Coin Guard Tavern.
Why didn't you have him arrested?
Angry citizens have gathered round the building. They have sworn to avenge themselves after discovering his fraud. I decided it better to avoid the mob. But if you wish to capture him alive, I advise you to hurry.
Governor Buren will be happy to learn that a legate with great assiduity will soon be joining the island of Tir-Fredi. Thank you for your help, Excellency, and allow me to offer you this modest present for your voyage.
I need to be going. Goodbye, Excellency.
Goodbye, Lady de Sade.
Nice. So naik level 2. Mantap betul. Boleh buat dengan level. Tak tahu apa lagi. Aku tak lawan pun. Pernah lawan. Tapi tak pernah lagi naik level. Okay. So shader missile. Oh, ni ada dua yang kita pukul tu kan. Ni one-handed. So kita boleh remaining point spend kat ni. So aku rasa aku akan guna untuk yang ni. Reset skill. Ambil dia. Revenge shadows. Alright. So kita boleh tambah apa lagi? Tak boleh lagi remaining point kosong. Next point level 4. Sama juga. Level 5. Sekejap ni kita ada apa? Asal dia tak ada ni? Oh, sekali. Ni apa? 13.9. 13.9. Tak mau je mat. Baju 29. Fair. Yeah. Alright. So nice. It's so nice. Kita jumpa someone ni baru. Dan kita dah tangkap orang baru. Kita jumpa faction kan. Alright, so next kita ada pergi heretic hunt ataupun ni. Aku kata heretic hunt. Find the smuggler. Seri. Wow. Betul jauh dia. Alright, so yes, kita dah buat satu perkara yang betul. Aku rasa kan. But literally dia dah bagi tahu semua kesalahan dia kat kita. And aku tak rasa korang lepaskan orang macam tu. Cuba terbayang kalau terkena kat jiran kau. Kau tak ada rasa apa-apa kat jiran kau tapi still jahat. Alright. Siapa tu? Find the smuggler.
Lively there, lads and lasses! I promised the merchants and their prince we'd be off before the tide. You, man, carry that properly. That porcelain is worth more than your life.
Sudah.
There are some children we'd been best to refuse.
Pukul dia.
Captain Vasco,
And you are?
I'm de Sade, the prince's niece. If all is in order, we will soon be embarking on your boat.
It's a ship, not a boat.
Apologies.
Apologies for my asking, but the young governor isn't with you.
He didn't come home this morning. I need to find him before departure.
I hope nothing's happened to him or he hasn't changed his mind. The tide does not wait.
Perhaps he simply celebrated his imminent departure with a little too much enthusiasm. Is everything ready?
We're short a crew member. The cabin boy is missing. But have no fear, we will leave without him if he does not present himself before the tide.
Is he an important member of the crew?
We don't need him for sailing or navigation. He's only a cabin boy.
He must have simply had a bit too much to drink in celebrating his departure. Like another I know.
I doubt that. Jonas was never one to fancy drink. And it's been 2 days since last he was seen. No, I fear something bad has happened to him. Might I ask you, if you hear anything, could you report it to me? I would like to set sail with a clear mind.
Oh, banyaknya. Banyak. Alright, so ask about. Kita tanya dulu pasal info-info apa yang dia dapat. Notes.
Could you tell me a little about your guild?
We are masters of the oceans. Our ships can sail where no others dare.
Thanks to your magic, so I've heard. How do you become a Nord?
Our magic, yes, that only the Nords master. As for your question, any child born on one of our ships is seaborn. He is a Nord from birth. Others are sea-gifted, joining the Nords for different reasons, often from a young age. It's how the guild is made and maintains its numbers.
Baru tahu, Knots adalah dia punya kid. Right, kita tanya pasal pulau dia.
Could you tell me anything about our destination? The island of Teofredi?
It is a magnificent place. Wild. Spared from your wars and your mines, for now. The natives have a relationship with their land and consider it sacred. They're a very friendly people, welcoming, that will appear to you strangely familiar. I've also heard that there are a great many exotic creatures, some enormous. But I wouldn't know what else to tell you. I've never strayed far from the ports.
Kita tanya pasal port lah.
What do you think of our port?
Are you referring to this one? It is the biggest high seas port on the continent. Thanks to your prince, even though it remains part of your city, it holds a particular status for us Nords. Certain zones are owned completely by us, and maritime law holds office. It's a good port. Were it not for the Malachor, it would be a pleasant place to dock.
Malachor tu actually nama ni lah, nama penyakit tu lah. So kita tanya pasal Heretics dulu kita taruh ke bawah.
Have you seen anyone wandering about? Suspicious looking. Maybe clandestine passengers.
Take a look around. There are far too many comings and goings to spot possible stowaways. As long as they don't try and get on my ship, I pay no attention to them. That said, we did catch ourselves a smuggler just a while ago.
A smuggler? Maybe he could be of some use. Where could I find him?
In the port jails, not far from the warehouses. May I ask you, why the sudden interest in smugglers and the odd stowaway?
Keep voicing too much, talk to me openly, boy. Okay. Aku tak cakap benda.
Nothing to bother yourself about. I'm just curious.
You wouldn't, by the sheerest of coincidences, be on the trail of a couple of heretics, Your Excellency. The same a couple of the ambassadors of Ptolemy's men have been looking for nigh on 2 days.
And so you know about that.
Of course. The Cardinal's henchmen are hard to miss, even in a crowd. And they were making quite a fuss, hoping we would cave in and help them in their hunt. Feel free to carry out your own investigation, but you'll end up with the same answers. The port brigs, just like the warehouses, are property of the Naughts. No one else may enter.
Alright. Ini macam something kita tak bagi masuk gambar ni. Jangan baca. Aku rasa tidak bisa.
You haven't heard anything about my cousin by chance, have you? To be honest, we were hoping to find him here.
Did you say he was intending on celebrating his departure? My men spoke of a rather animated party that went down at the Coin Tavern, but I haven't heard anything else.
That isn't the safest place in the city. I hope nothing has happened to him.
Let's go and find him. Thank you, Captain.
Happy to be of some help.
Alright. So, as for help on the merchandise.
I have a favor to ask before we leave.
I'm Orlaise.
We would like to load some merchandise into your ship's hold.
Impossible. You're too late for that. All merchandise must be registered at the Port Authority, and the formalities are long. So, unless you're asking me to turn smuggler and hide contraband on my vessel.
I wouldn't go that far. We're only talking about a few crates, after all.
Well then, they'll have to wait. The next ship for New Serene leaves in a month.
Hellfire. If that shipment doesn't leave today, the commander will have my hide.
Captain, I understand your position, but isn't there some way we can get these crates on board?
I doubt it. Even if I wanted to help you, my quartermaster is a half-crazed bridge troll. He's gotten it into his head that a gang of ruffians want to use my ship to pass contraband over to Tirfredi. He's placed guards where our cargo is being held before being loaded. All that is not in the warehouse, and noted on the manifest, will be left on the docks. Sorry, but your crates are gonna have to wait until the next ship sets sail.
Sorry, Kurt. At least we tried.
The commander is gonna have my head. I'm sure that's what he wanted in giving me this impossible task.
In that case, we're going to have to doctor the manifest ourselves. It must be at the Harbour Master's office.
Right. Let's go to the cabin boy. When you see him for the last time?
When did you see your cabin boy for the last time?
It's been 2 days since I've had any news at all. It wasn't out of the ordinary until this morning. My men have free shore leave when we're at dock. But the day of departure, every able-bodied sailor must be present on the ship.
Yeah, acquaintances in Syria.
Does the boy know anyone in Serene?
Other than fellow Norts, you mean? I don't think so, but it's difficult to be sure.
Acquaintances in Syria?
Does the boy know anyone in Serene?
Other than fellow Norts, you mean?
Oh,
I
thought
don't
it
think
did.
so, but it's difficult to be sure.
Alright. Okay, ini betul yang aku katakan tadi. Who are his close friends?
This Jonas. Does he have any close friends amongst the crew?
In tradition, we are all members of the same family. But yes, there would be Flavio and Lauro.
Might I have a word with them?
As you wish, you'll find them over there, in port.
Alright, so that's it. Banyak gila kita sembang dengan dia. And kita kali.
Be back soon, Captain.
We need to have a word with that people smuggler the sailor mentioned.
He's a captain, Kurt, like yourself. And in order to interrogate the smuggler, we'll need to find a way into his jail.